The founding of the Women's Christian Temperance Union in 1874 started a 50-year-long anti-alcohol crusade. Famous faces such as Frances Willard and Carrie Nation worked tirelessly to get saloons out of cities and men into factories. Temperance crusaders got what they wanted in 1917 with the passing of the 18th Amendment, which banned the sale of alcohol. This amendment was seen as very unpopular and therefore difficult to enforce. By now, you're probably wondering why people wanted to ban alcohol and pass the 18th Amendment. Well, the WCTU and their temperance crusaders, led by Frances Willard in 1874, wanted to ban alcohol as they argued that the banning of the alcohol was necessary because the grain used to make liquor could be used to feed the troops during World War I. Furthermore, devil rum caused men to be abusive and lazy, meaning that they could not work.
Carrie Nation, a radical member who was very popular, had propaganda of her that showed brave nation smashing kegs of beer and rum on horseback. The passing of the 18th Amendment in 1917, which banned the sale of alcohol, led to the development of organized crime in the 1920s. Since this law was hard to enforce, famous mobsters were able to profit on the sale of illegal alcohol. Illegal bars called speakeasies were opened in nearly every city and town. To supply these speakeasies, smugglers called bootleggers snuck bottles of liquor into their boots. Famous gangsters such as Al Capone capitalized on the sale of illegal alcohol. Alcohol smugglers, or rum runners, used rivers and waterways to smuggle alcohol across state lines. Later on, they diverged in bootleg operations.
Territorial disputes between syndicates often transformed America's cities into violent battlegrounds. Homicides, burglaries, and assaults led to general crime increasing significantly between 1920 and 1933. Police and government officials were overwhelmed by the amount of crime. In the end, Prohibition wasn't very popular and wasn't very effective either. It wasn't just that regular Americans were able to find and drink alcohol, it was that criminals were making massive amounts of money selling the alcohol. The law was difficult to enforce and so unpopular that you could find a police commissioner in a speakeasy. So, in 1933, the United States government created the 21st Amendment, which repealed the 18th Amendment and ended Prohibition. The 20s was a time of smashing tradition, breaking boundaries, and being different, but Prohibition laws made it harder for people to have a good time. So, speakeasies were made, which only led to an era of organized crime.